Pyramids. Why were they made?
They were made by the survivors of Atlantis because they didn't all go down at the same time. There were some that left, and they took their scrolls and their history and their abilities with them. They were able to still use the mind abilities of how to levitate stone, how to mold stone. Like if you go to Peru, in Cusco, places like that, you can see how the stones are molded to fit together perfectly. They couldn't teach a lot of the natives because they weren't that developed yet. The ETs did help with the building of the pyramids because they are definitely connected to the stars. A lot of the places on Earth are connected with ETs, too, and the stars. The King's Chamber and all of that, it does have to do with the light coming down and pointing in a certain direction. These were markers. They're so big they could be seen from outer space so that the ETs would know how to come in and land.
Could they have been energy sources as well?
Well, it's interesting. My daughter was there last year. When she was inside of it, she had this strange feeling like she was inside of a machine. Have you ever been to the pyramids?
I have not. I have to do that.
Well, I haven't been yet, but she found something even more interesting that nobody talks about.
What's that?
Right next to the pyramids is a small museum where they have what they call solar boats. Interesting, they call them solar boats.
Solar boats?
Yes, and they're boats. She said they had one that they have reconstructed, and they're being held down by gigantic boulders. And that's very strange. They're sitting out there and have huge boulders on top of them. Now, why is that? Because they can fly away? I don't know. But she said the way they're made, they could never have been in water the way they're constructed. Why would they call them solar boats unless it's something to do with ETs? So it's an interesting concept anyway.
They sound like craft, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They do. I want to get
that's something you never hear about when people talk about the pyramids.
No, you don't. Did you investigate the ancient Vermanas at all?
Ancient what?
The Vermanas? I guess not.
What Vermanas? What do you mean by that?
These were flying machines in India.
Oh, yeah, but they're the same everywhere.
It's
just different types of ETs from different planets use different kinds of machines. I just didn't know what those were called.
Crop formations, one thing we haven't talked about. What are they?
I've investigated those since 1992, and I know why they're there.
Who's sending them?
Well, the ETs are creating them from the other dimensions. They're made by energy. They are a language, and it's a language that's done in symbols, and it's understood by the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. The conscious mind doesn't understand it. But see, they communicate with symbols, not with words. They said it's very boring with us. We got to put one word behind the other to form a sentence, to form a paragraph. They deal in symbols, mind to mind. A symbol will contain a tremendous amount of information. So they're made there on purpose to convey information. You don't have to be in the crop circle to get the information. You just have to see the symbol. And the information is transferred to the mind on a cellular level. And then whenever you need the information, and in the times we're at now and the changing of the world, the information will be there and you won't even know where it came from. It's planted into the mind by just looking at the symbols. My work now is convincing people that you should never be sick. You should never have anything wrong with you. You should be perfect health. If you are sick, you have created it yourself, made yourself sick. And people say, well, I don't want to be sick. But if the mind is that powerful to make yourself sick, you can also heal yourself. We find out, why did you do it to yourself? Now, that's kind of hard for people to understand, but they're getting it now all over the world. I've already trained thousands of people, and even doctors are using this in their practice. So it's kind of hard to believe that your mind could be that powerful to control your body that way.
But we know it can be.
I know it. I see miracles every day in my office. So I have to turn the belief system around, especially the medical profession, that you don't need medicine. You can do it yourself with your own mind. But there's so many mysteries out there that, well, they're a lot of people have trouble believing it. They're just stuck in day-to-day life. But there's tremendous mysteries everywhere. We can't even begin to comprehend it all.
Let's go to LaShawn in Shreveport, Louisiana. First-time caller. Hi there.
Hello. Hi, Dolores.
Hi.
Hi, George.
Hello there.
I was just calling because I was listening to you when you were saying that, there are people that don't really feel like if they're from here and they belong somewhere else.
Yeah.
I've always felt that way, I'm a little nervous.
I hear this all the time, so join the club.
But I'm 36, and, sometimes I'll have dreams, and I'll see beings. They'll speak with me, and it's like their mouth isn't moving, but they're talking to me, and I'm hearing them. I'm hearing this voice, and I would say my vocabulary isn't the greatest, but it's like I'll wake up, and there is a word in my head, and I'm not sure what this word is, so I have to go to the dictionary, look in the dictionary, and see what this word means. And I'm like, wow, okay. I don't know what that means, but a few of the words that I woke up and I looked in the dictionary, apprehensive. I wasn't sure what exactly is apprehensive, and it's fearful of what may be coming. And I'm like, where did that come from?
Mm.
And then there was another one. It's like he told me I need to be expeditious. I looked that up, get the true meaning. I'm like, okay, prompt and efficient, speedy.
Yeah.
And then when you said, for as, being here and belonging somewhere else, there's another word I had wrote down that I woke up with. It was expatriate.
Expatriate.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what does that mean?
And a person who leaves his own country to live in another.
Oh, expatriate, yeah.
I guess, I'm not pronouncing it right, but that's what I looked up for a word that looked, sound pretty much like that, and that's it. And I'm like, wow, maybe this is it. So I just wondered about that.
Well, let me tell you something that most people don't know. Every night when you go to sleep, you go out of your body.
That's right.
Everybody. Because the body is the only thing that gets tired and needs to rest. And your soul would get awful tired of sitting around waiting for you to wake up so it can continue on with its life. So while the body is asleep, you're off having all kinds of adventures. You're going to the spirit side. You're going to other planets. You're going anywhere you want to go. So to me, this would be you're going back to the craft, where the ETs are, and you're having conversations with them and advice. So to me, that would make perfect sense. But you don't remember a lot of it when you come back and wake up in the morning.
That's the secret, to wake up in that dream state, that astral state.
What they call, what do they call it? It's on the tip of my tongue, dreaming. I'll think of it.
Lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming, yeah. Whenever you wake up, you know you're dreaming in the middle of a dream.
That's right. And you can control it sometimes when you do that.
Yeah, and the minute you start controlling it, though, you usually wake up. But you are connected with your soul, and your body is always connected by the silver cord until you die and that cord is severed.
That's right.
So in the morning, when you have to come back to the body, you're more or less reeled back into the body again. So I'd be very positive that's what's happening to you, that you are visiting with your friends on the ship during the night when you think you're asleep.
Dolores, I got to tell you, you are one of the most enlightened persons I've ever chatted with.
Okay. One of my problems, if you want to call it that, is that I don't ever forget anything.
No, you have an incredible memory.
Maybe that's really why they gave me this job. I don't know.
Let's go to Noah in Morgantown, West Virginia. Hello, okay. Noah. Go ahead.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. And I have to agree, Dolores, you are, and you are very enlightened. And I love everything you've had to say. It's funny that as I sit here and listen, I call with an original comment, and everything seems to pertain to what's going on, not only with me, but I think a lot of the listeners as well. So, thank you for being on here and just sharing with us all that you have to know. So thank you for that. But, George, real quick, and kind of off topic, when I tuned in, she was talking about ETs, Dolores, and being from somewhere else and feeling out of place. And it reminded me of the Council of Elohim.
Yes, very similar to that.
Okay, all right. And so now do you think that might be two sides to perhaps the same coin? Maybe a different perception of how we look at things?
Yeah. What do you think, Dolores?
I'm not sure of the question. What is the question, George?
look at the side of a coin, right? You got heads, tails, two different sides, but it's the same coin.
Yeah.
Is that what life is all about?
Oh, life is more complicated than that. It is all with your perception, how you perceive things. And, if you see it as negative, it's going to be negative. If you see it as positive, it's going to be positive, the way you perceive it. But everything in life is you have planned, you have put here, and you've done it to learn a lesson from it. Everybody has bad things happen in their life. That's normal.
That's human.
Life.
That's life.
But I always say, what did you learn from it? And if you learned even one thing from it, that was the reason you had the experience. And other people, they'll say, well, I didn't learn anything from it. It was just a bad experience. If you did say you didn't learn anything from it, guess what? You got to come back and do it again. Same people, same circumstance. You failed that grade in school. You've got to take it over again.
Dolores Cannon with us. Dolores, when you speak at events, what are people primarily interested in? What do they want to know?
Oh, they want to know everything. That's the amazing thing about it. Sometimes I've gone to an event. I'm supposed to speak for 3 hours. One place, I think it was San Diego, I didn't get out of there for 6 hours. They just kept asking more and more questions, wanting to know more and more. But lately, in the last year or so, I've been speaking about mostly the 3 waves of volunteers and the changes the Earth is going through. But they're interested in all phases of metaphysics, and a lot of it is young people. I'm thinking it's the Internet generation. It has opened up the metaphysics to a whole new age group that we didn't have before. And they're really eating this up. They're fascinated by metaphysics and the unknown and unexplained.
Well, it's something that affects all of us, too. I mean, I think the bottom line here, the quest is what happens when we die. I think everybody's obsessed with that, Dolores.
Yeah, but I found the answer, and there's no problem there.
Are you comforted to know what happens?
Oh, yeah, because I wrote a whole book about it. The book is Between Death and Life, and it tells what it's like when you die, how you feel when you die, where you go on the other side, all the places you can go to, the whole procedure, and then the whole full circle as you make your plans and come back again.
Did you ever have any doubts?
No, because I've gotten this information through so many people. People say it makes them feel so much better to know, especially if they have someone that's dying in their family or if they have somebody that has died, they know they're perfectly fine. They're on this beautiful spirit world.
Okay, to the phones we go. Final calls. Ron in Sacramento, California. Okay. Hey, Ronnie, go ahead.
Hi, how you doing, George?
Good, Ron.
First-time caller, but I used to listen to Coast when Art Bell was driving his Geo Metro from Pahrump to Las Vegas.
Thank you.
That's a long time. But anyhow, I got something going on that happened 33 years ago, and I've never been able to explain. I'm driving my truck late at night and fell asleep behind the wheel. And the truck jumped the curb, and about that time I woke up going, oh, this is going to be a big one.
This is it, yeah.
Goodbye. And the next thing I know, I'm laying up on the side of the road. There's nobody around. I was alive. My truck was rolled over in the ditch and on fire. And I just went, what just happened? I had no idea. Of course, I hadn't, 33 years ago, I'd never heard of a guardian angel. But I think now that's what it was.
Oh, you had a good one. He was really on the job.
Yeah, working overtime.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. I had to have flown out the back window because, like I said, the truck was upside down, the top was crushed down to the bed, and it was on fire.
Without that help, there's no way you would have gotten out of that one.
Exactly.
No, they have miraculous ways of doing it, so you got a good one.
I love that story.
I hope you thanked them.
Forever.
Because they like to be thanked.